I just want to play a game where I, as a man, can feel like an absolute badass. I want to play as someone that I can relate to sometime and that my son can relate to as well when he grows up. Besides me, of course, but this is only getting harder and harder. Video games became soft. I talked about this for many years on my channel, and it's only right now that most people are really starting to notice that yeah, something's actually not right. Before we were just getting baby fed this soft rainbow content. You know, it wasn't that bad. I could still play some games without noticing a difference. Now they've tied us up and are force feeding us until we're numb to it, ruining our favorite franchises along the way. If you've seen this video right here, well, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because I was inspired by it. Now here's a list of badass upcoming games that still have masculinity, or that looks to have it. First of all, we have Gears of War 8, one of my favorite franchises, is finally going back to its dark, gritty, and hopefully badass masculine roots, with Dom and Marcus as battle brothers during Emergence Day, the beginning of the invasion. What a great decision that these developers have made to go back to the classics. Next up we have Space Marine 2, one of the most badass masculine upcoming game that I've seen yet and is in my top anticipated game. Everything here just screams epic and makes me want to train and hit those Tyranids in the face. I can't wait.
And today I'm going to take you on a tour of the game's story, game modes, progression, and a whole lot more, giving you a taste of what's to come when the game releases on September 9th. Space Marine 2 is a third-person action shooter set in the grim, dark universe of Warhammer 40,000. The game's campaign mode allows you to experience this epic story either solo or with up to 3 players in co-op. Space Marine 2's story begins a century after the events of the first game. Captain Demetrian Titus is a genetically enhanced super soldier and hero of the Ultramarines.
We will eradicate your kind from the galaxy.
Titus is returned to the Ultramarines.
You're a lieutenant now.
Where he is demoted to lieutenant.
Will that be a problem? No, Captain.
And forced to prove his loyalty in the heat of battle. On a distant world, he must face one of humanity's most fearsome adversaries, the Tyranids. As you take control of Titus and his fellow battle brothers, Chiron and Gadriel, you'll be thrown into the thick of a war of galactic proportions. Thanks to our unique swarm technology, allowing us to render hundreds of real enemies on screen at the same time. You'll face seemingly endless waves of crawling, running and swooping enemies as far as the eye can see. You must repel the Tyranid invasion and rid the system of the Xenos threat, battling in the claustrophobic jungles of Kadaku, the majestic planet-spanning metropolis of Avarax, and other epic locations. After each successful mission, you'll return to the Battle Barge, a space fortress serving as the Ultramarines' orbital headquarters. Here you can gather crucial intel by interacting with onboard personnel, review your next targets, and tailor your loadout to your upcoming mission.
For the Emperor!
Next up we have Doom: The Dark Ages. I mean, I don't think I need to say much about this. Doom has always been about being an absolute badass as Doom guy, and this sequel amps it up to the max in medieval times with dragons and a ton of demons to kill. Next up we have Crimson Desert. Coming from South Korea, these developers are not influenced at all by the Western world, and so they're just creating the game that they want to make without restraints or agendas in mind. They're creating a badass story with a male character as main protagonist, and it is inspired by The Witcher and Skyrim. Check it out. Next up we have Black Myth: Wukong, another amazingly beautiful and badass project unaffected by the Western world, and they don't give two shits if a random article talks about their game not being woke enough. It is a team from China which wants to create the game they've always wanted to make without any agendas in mind. Next up we have The Alters, which is a game the developers always wanted to create. You play as Yan, which is the only character in the game, but you'll also have to manage other clone versions of Yan, which have lived a different life. This game is unaffected by Western ideologies.
Yan will need to handle a large mobile base that's designed to be operated by an entire team of qualified personnel. Even worse, the planet Yan landed on revolves around the deadly scorching star. Escaping the sunrise is crucial for survival. Despite his best efforts, Yan simply lacks the time and skills to deal with all these problems on his own. But the planet Yan is stranded on is home to a mysterious substance called Rapidium. With its use and the help of the quantum computer on board, Yan is able to create alternative versions of himself. The Alters. Each one of them is a result of altering a crucial decision from Yan's past. The Alters are a reflection of the questions he asks himself. What if I never left my hometown? What if I didn't drop out of college? What if I fought harder to save my marriage? Our Alters have the necessary knowledge and skills that we desperately need to succeed. But they also come with their own goals, ambitions, and fears, all derived from their different life paths. And that can generate problems.
Stop pretending you have any idea how I feel.
Incompetence, incoherent decision-making, a groundbreaking mission on the verge of failure.
Damn, I just hope I don't f*** everything up again.
You want a relationship that lasts. Put some effort in it.
Each Yan is a different person. It will be extremely difficult to keep everyone happy.
You gotta learn how to say no sometimes.
But we must do whatever we can, because as the mission goes on, the challenges will only pile up.
Next up we have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The first game was under some controversy for not including people of color in a world and story where no other people of color were found other than white people in Central Europe during medieval times. The developers, Warhorse Studios, have held their ground and never bowed to the vocal minority. This second game looks to do the same and will be awesome.
These two young fellas, I need to find them. One's a smart-ass smith, and the other's a blue-blooded fledgling.
You behave like a spoilt brat.
How dare you speak?
Gentlemen, praise be to our Lord Jesus Christ.
Our Father, there are many sinners in this world. But in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do.
The last time I ran away, I lost everything.
I'm never gonna run from that fucker again.
Kiss our asses!
God, is this retribution for my sins?
To the task!
Task.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino Yask in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the West. Your codename for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. The clock is ticking. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment to procure on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army. Freeze. Speak. Commencing virtuous mission now.
In a world where there are no rules, the only law that matters is a loaded gun.
Go ahead. Make my day.
My job is not about taking somebody's life. It's about taking their souls.
Money for blood. That's peculiar profession.
Sometimes I kill for money. Sometimes I kill for justice.
Your next target, Johnny the Wireman, wanted alive. Paid double. Last seen somewhere in Jacobstown area. Bounty hunting is a hell of a business.
Who are you?
I am Exekiller.
I want to make you an offer, which I'm sure you won't refuse.
Buddy, you mentioned something about research for a story. Frank West.
Remember that name, because the whole world's gonna know it in 3 days. What? Did you just say zombies?
Take a look out there. Those ain't zombies. What would you call them?